Welcome back, everybody. We are set for puck drop here in Vancouver. Third of the 6-game road trip for the Panthers. They're 1-1 so far. First of 3 and 4 nights here in Western Canada. And here we go. Luongo against Ryan Miller and thrown right on goal, and Miller sticks it away. Bjugstad has Jokinen with him tonight, along with Hayes on that line. Set the Panthers up lineup-wise. Some changes for Coach Gerard Gallant. Wasn't real happy with the game on Sunday in Washington, a 4-3 loss. Gallant said today, it feels like we've been off for about a week. And the puck jumps up and out of play. BB&T has the much-anticipated goaltending matchup.
Well, I tell you what, they saw this matchup last time in 2010 in the Olympics right here in Vancouver. Ryan Miller, 588 games played in the NHL. Roberto Luongo, 833. You're not going to get a lot past him tonight. I would imagine this will be a tight scoring game.
I remember doing that game on radio here. What a performance that was. We get a penalty by both of them, Miller and Luongo. So right off the bat, a call here, just 29 seconds into the game, a power play for Vancouver.
Florida penalty, minor penalty, 27, 2 minutes for hooking.
Not a lot of penalties for Nick Bjugstad over the last 15 or so games, but the Florida Panthers will find themselves killing a penalty. There you see Nick Bjugstad gets his stick caught perpendicular into the waist of the opponent. That is always called.
Vancouver, one of the better power plays in the league. And they're trying to get set up here for Bata, for Daniel Sedin. Willie Mitchell, the former Canuck, and now Panther captain from the area. Taken back by Sedin, rattles it around the boards. Edler steps up. McKenzie chases him. Unloads for Henrik, and the shot blocked by Mitchell. And McKenzie with some good work, able to get it down the ice.
Yeoman kind of work you kind of expected from 17 McKenzie. Florida Panthers, one of the keys to the game, they've got to be good at killing the penalties. Goalie said, third best power play in the NHL.
And the Canucks were having the prime years. They were so good on the power play. Last couple of years faltered. They dropped down with John Tortorella, of course, short-lived coach here in Vancouver, dropped down to bottom 5 in the league, but they're right back up there this year. Here comes Radim Verbata. Round for Daniel Sedin. Verbata again, hit solidly by Dylan Olsen. And Jokinen has it go off his stick. Bolin there to bounce it all the way down, and the Panthers will get another change.
Just to make sure you're not misled, tied for 8th on the power play coming into this game are the Vancouver Canucks. They've scored 3 power play goals in the last 3 games played.
Bonino, centering pass, has a man. Vay's shot blocked again by Mitchell. Bieksa at the line. Gives to Cassian. And now down low. Vay takes a look in front. The feed. Here's Dorsett shooting, and that went wide. Bonino on the puck. Feeds Bieksa again. Second power play units look better in the first for Vancouver. Good stick by Willie Mitchell. Panthers need one more clear. Fleischmann on the ice now. Bieksa has a look. Nice save by Luongo with the stick. And the Lou chants go up. They remember it well. Here's Bieksa shooting again. Deflected, went wide. Behind the net, Dorsett. Played around to Bonino again. Bonino goes cross-ice. Vay one-timer. Luongo there again. Sharp early on to the Lose here at the Rogers Arena, his old home. The Panthers, with 2 big stops by Luongo, able to kill off the penalty. And Bjugstad out of the box. But it's stolen away at center. Bjugstad right back on it. And we're even strength now. Jonathan Huberdeau bangs one in off the boards. Huberdeau with boys on the wings. And Alexander Barkov in the middle. Thomas Fleischmann back in the Panther lineup tonight, as is Thomas Kopecky. Barkov back defensively. Sean Matthias there, 27 in blue, traded in the deal for Luongo 10 months ago. Along with Jacob Markstrom, who's down in the minors. Here's Huberdeau, but knocked down at center. He bangs his former teammate Matthias. Played around the boards. Huberdeau able to get a piece of it and clear the zone. Spiza moves it out to center. Daniel Sedin on the dump-in. He is watched tightly by Aaron Ekblad. Meanwhile, Willie Mitchell comes around the boards, thrown out in front. Here's a chance, and they score! Sedin.
Well, we talked about two things the Florida Panthers have got to be good at this game. They have to minimize the defensive zone time. Didn't do it here. Had an opportunity to get it out. They did not get it out at this point. That's what we're talking about. Look at this passing. You're not going to find too many hockey teams in this National Hockey League that can move the puck like this. The Florida Panthers had an opportunity to get out, minimize the defensive zone time. They didn't do it. They got hurt. Earlier, they expended a lot of energy killing a penalty. Again, a power play team tied for 8th is Vancouver, but they've been hot of late on the power play. So early in the game, the Florida Panthers have gone against the Keys.
1-0 game here. The Canucks getting one early on at 3:39 of the first. Bergenheim goes the other way. Bergenheim moving out in front. Oh, and the pass to Fleischmann was through him. Like Bergenheim had a chance to shoot there. Bolin with a hit.
4 chances to shoot. 1, 2, 3, 4. That's how much time he had in front of the net. Never got a shot away.
Edler winds and fires. That one skipped off O'Brien and went wide. Taken away by Bergenheim. Tanev is back. Lead pass the other way. It's Hansen, leaned on by Aaron Ekblad, the 18-year-old defenseman. And then Hayes chops it down the ice. Jokinen trailing Tanev. Tanev able to protect that puck. Now under pressure, and Jokinen with the steal. Looks out in front, feeds Hayes. It's blocked away. Very similar play to the way the Canucks got their goal.
Now the puck just never got through the youngster Horvat.
This is Horvat now. Ekblad played it beautifully. That's a couple of teenagers going head-to-head there, Horvat and Ekblad.
And Horvat could have played in the World Juniors had the Vancouver Canucks let him go. They play him as a fourth-line centerman. I don't quite understand that.
Kassian puts a puck in front. Good stick by Willie Mitchell.
When I asked that very question, they said Horvat has been very valuable to this team. That's why even as an 18-year-old, they keep him in the lineup as a fourth-line centerman. Typically, when you're going to keep a youngster, you got to give him a lot more minutes.
Kopecky back in his familiar spot with Derek McKenzie and Upshaw on the other side. It rolls all the way down. Kassian is going to get there first. Kulikov now takes over. Rolls just wide of Ryan Miller's net. Upshaw with Weber at the end boards. Kopecky finds the puck. Played it up high, but it came all the way back. First of two meetings, January 19th, the Canucks return the favorite. They'll be in Sunrise. And Weber had a step on Huberdeau, so an icing call there. Baptist Health has our scratches tonight. There's Goodbranson skating, but still not ready to go yet. Brandon Peary. Sean Thornton on the trip, skating as well, still injured. And Vincent Trocheck scratched as well, with Fleischmann and Kopecky back in the lineup.
Well, they're all on the trip. Sean Thornton shot a puck at me up in about the 10th row here in practice this morning. So his sense of humor is very well intact. Living dangerously. I'm kidding, of course.
Huberdeau for boys. Ekblad is there offensively to receive the pass. Deflects out in front. Barkov bothering Henrik Sedin. Little feed for Tanev. Huberdeau there. Panthers try to work the forecheck, but now Daniel on the clear for Henrik. Edler tipped away by Brian Campbell. Daniel Sedin again. Round for Henrik Sedin, and now Edler. Henrik one more time, throws it out in front. Off the stick of Tanev, who is trying to creep in for his D spot. Edler fires, glove save by Luongo. And he will hold that. Nearly 7 minutes gone by. The Canucks have an early lead, thanks to the Sedins. Luongo back in Vancouver. Let's go down to Billy.
And you can hear the cheers right now. This is for Roberto Luongo. The video tribute is up on the screen, and you're wondering if it was going to be cheers or boos. It is all Lou and cheers right now for Roberto Luongo.
And now Roberto Luongo delivers his stick to a happy young fan over the glass.
I expected for Luongo. 8 great years here and just really good support here from this BC crowd, and that's exactly what you would expect. Luongo, a fan favorite, and had a great career here.
And he acknowledged the fans. Big standing ovation, thunderous ovation for Luongo. Well, they had that in the 11 Stanley Cup Finals against Boston. A 3-2 lead on the Bruins. So close to winning that Stanley Cup. Roberto said yesterday that's his only regret, that he knows how much the Stanley Cup means and just couldn't quite bring it to him. Here's Vey now with a shot. Luongo, oh boy, that one dropped down. He was able to get that right pad out and keep it on the goal line. So the Canucks have had the advantage in play here early in the game.
Well, they're throwing everything at the net, and on that particular play, the puck went off of Shane O'Brien, and so you've got a situation where they don't care how it goes in, they just want to get it there.
O'Brien behind the net, able to find Thomas Fleischmann. Back again, Canucks on the forecheck here. Panthers able to break it nicely. And Bjugstad leads the charge right up the gut to give to Fleischmann. But he couldn't tee it up. It rolled right off his stick. And it allows Hansen to go the other way. Bjugstad getting back defensively here to negate an odd man rush. Campbell around, settled down by UC Jokinen. Here's Bjugstad again carrying. 15 on the year for Bjugstad. Ekblad's in front with a chance. Nice play there. Ekblad reading it well and jumping up.
Now you can do that. Jimmy Hayes was quick to cover. As soon as Ekblad went up the ice, Jimmy Hayes noticed it. He was ahead of him, so Hayes, the forward on that side of the ice, was quick to play the role of a defenseman while Ekblad was up front.
Edler's lead pass tipped away by Willie Mitchell.
That's the kind of support that the coaches are trying to get game in and game out, shift in, shift out.
Kulikov escapes the check of Richardson. Here comes Scotty Upshall to center. He gets it deep. See if he and McKenzie can get to work. McKenzie, a big hit on Stanton. But Bieksa takes the puck.
Game's opened up quite a bit more. Florida Panthers coming out of their zone a lot better these last few shifts. Able to create a little bit of speed going through the neutral zone.
Panthers have been off for 3 days since that Sunday afternoon game in Washington. Upshall shoots. Ryan Miller makes the save. No rebound. Here's what's coming up at the BB&T Center as we get started in 2015. Number of great shows. Sunday's Winter Jam. T.I. featuring Phil Lindsay's favorite, 2 Chainz. And a whole lot more. Ticketmaster.com. Call 954-835-SHOW.
Didn't we see in the elevator Bob Seger's coming here to Vancouver as well?
Yep.
Coast to coast. You know what, folks? Florida to Vancouver is the largest distance between any 2 NHL teams. And Bob Seger is just going to travel.
He'll probably hit a few in between, that's for sure.
Yeah, for sure.
And thing to watch here for, Trocheck and Peary out in the lineup. Kopecky and Fleischmann have to do something tonight.
Chance for Huberdeau and a save by Miller, and then they score on the rebound. Well, it wasn't Kopecky or Fleischmann, but the young Panthers, Barkov and Huberdeau, able to get the game tied at 1.
Boy, I'll tell you what, this has not been a matchup that's been around for long. Huberdeau has played most of the season with Bjugstad. If Coach Gallant can see some chemistry between these guys, and there it is. Shot on goal, best pass in hockey is a rebound, and there's Barkov right there to tap it in. I believe it'll be given to Barkov. There he is, 16. Yeah, he gets the stick on it in there, and Huberdeau will get an assist. And the veteran Brad Boyes on the right wing. Nice trio right there as they get the Florida Panthers back in a tied situation.
And as they've done so many times this year, the response solid. After giving up a goal, they score shortly after. Barkov's third. Huberdeau will get the primary assist.
Well, again, very good forechecking and support in the offensive zone.
Chance the other way. Verbata hammered one high and wide.
Well, he can shoot the puck.
Oh, he has 16 goals on the year. Been a good goal scorer throughout his career. O'Brien with a good hit on Bonino. Verbata there. So is Olsen. Hard work deep in the Panther zone here. Shane O'Brien away with it. He gets turned around. Then the help from Olsen. And Dave Boland able to clear. Boyes got the second assist, so that line all get on the score sheet here to tie the game at 1. Here comes Hansen, has a chance in front, save Luongo, and then it's gathered in by Bjugstad. He races out of his own zone. Bjugstad gets around Dorsett, centering pass. Stanton got a piece of it. And the Canucks able to break the other way. Hansen, Kulikov watches him. Flipped it to the middle. Willie Mitchell, nice little feed there. Hayes for Bjugstad. Big collision in behind the play. Meanwhile, Jokinen walking in, waiting for some help. Has Hayes rejoining. Hayes in front, couldn't get the backhander on goal, blocked away. Boy, what a heads-up play. You see Jokinen just waiting at that line, taking a few looks over his right shoulder. He knew Hayes was coming at some point.
Goldie, it looks like he's got peripheral vision that is at least 180 degrees. If not more. Or as they would say in hockey, he's got eyes in the back of his head.
Edler on the shoot-in. Luongo. Daniel Sedin scored early on. The Panthers responded. Matthias puts one in front. That tipped off a stick and skipped wide. Sean Matthias again. Campbell knocked it free. Upshaw hustles over. And Scotty Upshaw on the clear finds McKenzie, but it was bouncing on him, and then McKenzie lost an edge. Campbell back to cover defensively. And to Billy's point about Fleischmann and Kopecky, yeah, guys, there's a battle here for playing time, and you've got to produce. Kopecky back from injury. Kopecky's been so good this year in that penalty kill role and with the hard work. Here comes Upshaw. He'll get a chance in front. But then he decided not to shoot as Tanev was there with him. Instead makes the play. Smart by Upshaw.
Sorry, Goldie. He was just waiting for his line mate, but there was a line change going on.
Huberdeau fanned on the shot there. Yeah, it was a good play by Upshaw as the Barkov line was changing. And for Thomas Fleischmann to finish that up on those two veterans. He scored in that game against the Rangers, and he and Panthers hope a little bit of offense perhaps in the second half here. Daniel Sedin. It comes to the point. Weber flips back down low. Henrik Sedin for Daniel in front. The shot deflected and up and out of play. First period here in Vancouver. Alexander Barkov able to bat one in to get it tied. Back 1-1 game. Barkov the goal for the Panthers. Daniel Sedin for Vancouver. Denny, we got some very bad news delivered last night. A former teammate of yours with the New York Islanders.
Well, it's a very tough thing. I talked to J.P. Parise just a couple of weeks ago, and he's hoping to live long enough to see his son Zach play in the 2018 Olympics. Obviously, that didn't happen. J.P. Parise was a great friend, a better teammate, and a great mentor. In 1975, Bill Torrey made a trade to bring this veteran to the New York Islanders, and he may just have scored the most important goal in Islander history in the third game overtime, beating the New York Rangers in our first ever playoff win. And more importantly, he was a friend. And Donna, his wife, I just want to say, none of us will ever forget him.
Now, unfortunately, we've spoken about it, Dan. He's been ill for a while, and obviously Zach, remember the Minnesota Wild. Age 73, J.P. Parise.
Big part of that Team Canada that was so heralded in the 72.
Luongo with a big save there on the point shot.
72 series that everybody in Canada knows and cherishes.
Spiza with a shot. Luongo again found that through the traffic with the right pad. This Sedin line has been tough here in the first. Here's Henrik holding the puck. Dave Bolin hounding him. Henrik Sedin still with it. Hands to Daniel, the return pass, and Bolin read that one well. He'll flip it down the ice. Bergenheim trying to get a step there, but Spiza got back defensively. And he feeds it over the Panther line. Verbata. Down low, Bonino. They give to Vey. And Verbata again had a little trouble. Now it's Vey. Ekblad leans on him. Here comes Stanton on the pinch from his defensive position. Throws one at the sharp angle off the outside of the net. Jimmy Hayes, the give to Jokinen. And now Bjugstad spins one blindly into the middle. They had it, stole it away. Bjugstad back to Hayes, past him. Hayes again. Plays to Jokinen. Nice little feed to Bjugstad. Bjugstad, sharp angle shot. Miller to save up high. Bjugstad scored one last game in Washington just like that against Braden Holtby late in the game.
You got to try those shots from everywhere. You don't know what might happen. Even a veteran goaltender like Ryan Miller may just not be ready at times.
Gretzky flew in there behind the net. But now Hansen, Horvat at center, tipped away by Derek McKenzie. Scotty Upshall turns in over the line, takes a wrister that goes wide. He'll chase after it. Upshall with a hit on Edler now, and that's a penalty on Upshall.
Come on. Well, there should be another penalty there. Dorset should go. I mean, if you're going to tap people and they go down, and then if you create a little bit of reaction from the teammate, that should be penalized as well.
We'll see how it all sorts out. The first call was on Upshall.
You know, that's not right. You're allowed a push. You're allowed a push.
Scotty Upshall in the penalty box. 2 minutes for boarding in Vancouver, which scored in its first power play, and will get another chance now.
Well, I'll tell you what, like a lot of calls, there's an enormous amount of judgment made by the referee to make that call. That call is made, and the Florida Panthers will now be in a penalty-killing situation again. No call on the retaliation, and therefore only one penalized player in the box.
So the power play, or the goal actually came after the power play, I should say. Let's go downstairs. Here's Billy.
And that's the situation, Scotty Upshall. Once he sees the number, he's got to pull up. That's an offensive zone penalty, and that's a bad penalty. He's just got to put his body in there. But anytime you see the numbers, you can't make that hit.
No, they're going to call it. You're right, Billy. It's pretty standard. Whether it's a push, a hit, they're usually going to call it. The goal for the Canucks actually came a minute after the power play ended. Here's Edler. Both Sedins are on, along with Verbata and Burrows. 4 forwards. Shot deflects up into the netting and out of play. Well, 4 South Florida hockey rinks are hosting free hockey clinics for kids ages 4 through 10 throughout the area. So register your child to learn hockey. Get the sticks in his or her hands. Go to floridapanthers.com/hockey clinics. Boland and Jokinen, the 2 Panther forwards. And Jokinen's going to race after it at center. Tipped. Boland is there to shoot in. Mitchell and Kulikov back on defense for Florida. Panthers not at a power play yet. This is Vancouver's second. Sedin and Barkov. Swede and a Finn, our goal scorers here tonight in British Columbia. Glad you're with us and you stayed up for this one here on Fox Sports Florida. Roberto Luongo's return to Vancouver. Daniel Sedin up high for Edler. Henrik Sedin settles it down now. Burrows is out in front. Verbata cut off by Willie Mitchell. He finds McKenzie. End of a shift, so he and Jokinen couldn't go. But now it's Kopecky off the bench. He's got a chance, and the shot goes wide. Panthers looking for their first shorthanded goal of the season. And they had a decent look there.
Kopecky has been out the last 4 games. Maybe that has something to do with trying to pick the corner and missing the net entirely. But boy, he had a lot of time. Well set up by McKenzie.
Bieksa now. Good kill so far for the Panthers. The Sedins and the big guns now off the ice. This is Bonino. Hit by Campbell. Olsen, the first man back. Checked by Vey. Kassian finds Bieksa. Nice little move by Bieksa. Vey with a look in front. Panthers had it covered well. Bieksa walks the line, waits. Boland watches him. Bieksa now fires a one-timer. Glove save. Roberto Luongo.
Even the Vancouver Canucks like that save. I think Kassian tapped him on the shoulder after making the save. Roberto Luongo? Well, he watched a guy named Grant Fuhr play, and he said the reason why he was my idol as a goaltender was because of the glove saves that Grant Fuhr would make. I don't know if there were as many good ones as that one, but Roberto Luongo uses that glove like a catcher. He doesn't knock it down like a lot of other goaltenders use their glove to knock the puck down. He uses it to catch.
Upshall waiting to get out of the box. McKenzie on the draw there, and now he clears it away from the slot. So the Panthers, one of your keys, the penalty kill, they've done the job. They're 2 for 2. They'd like to stop doing the job and stay out of the box. Here comes Huberdeau. Makes a move, couldn't pull the trigger on it. Got to drag it. Sean Matthias, backhands in. Smooth skating, Brian Campbell back to play. Sent up the boards, held in the zone though. Bouncing puck. Ekblad with Hansen. Stanton now. Richardson battling Huberdeau, and it finally comes out to center. Brad Boyes is there for Florida. Boyes has always been good in Vancouver with the point tonight against the Canucks. 21 points in 23 games against Vancouver. Funny how those things happen sometimes. Campbell for Ekblad, and he gets the red line. Bergenheim hustling it after it, tracks the puck down. He gets hit along with Stanton behind the net. They actually hit each other. Free side of the net. Fleischmann picks it up. Backhander in front, deflected. Fleischmann again working hard down low. Thomas Fleischmann, good effort. Still with it. Finally tipped away. And Dorsett is out. Ooh, and then Ekblad got clearly interfered with. I hope Ekblad's okay. He went down. That's a penalty on the Canucks. He's all right. Luckily, Ekblad. That's a dangerous play by Kassian.
Now Kassian come across.
Vancouver penalty number 9. 2 minutes for interference.
That is a big call. There's Kassian. He's trying to get out of the way. It's not necessarily an intentional hit, but you're going to get that call because Ekblad never had the puck, and certainly Kassian interfered with the play of Ekblad.
See what the Panther power play can do here late in the period. Their first chance. The Bukestad line is on with Ekblad and Campbell. Trying to get this power play going. One thing I think they're really going to need to do in the second half of this season.
What's that?
Campbell starts up ice. Bukestad. Along the boards, Jimmy Hayes is there. Plays it around, past Edler, so it allows Campbell to step down that wing. Bukestad goes for Hayes. Here's Ekblad. Over to Campbell. Hayes right out in front of Ryan Miller for the screen. Jokinen moves in, lets it go, blocked by the skates of Edler. And now Tanev has an open man. The Barkov line, which produced the goal here in the first, is on for the Panthers, but a steal shorthanded. Hansen in front, looking for a shot, but Kulikov took it away. Oh boy, Kulikov ahead for Huberdeau, and now Boyes trying to get out in front. Boyes still stays on it, hit by Bieksa. Boyes with a good battle there and able to roll it up high for Kulikov. Olsen, who scored in the last game Sunday against Washington, getting some power play time. Huberdeau lost it down low though. Olsen steps up, knocks it away from Richardson, and Boyes has it come out, so the Panthers are forced to reset. Final seconds of the first. See if they go one more time quickly. Huberdeau, Boyes at the line. Kulikov with a second to go, slap shot saved by Miller. And that's it for the opening period.
Good road period for the Florida Panthers. You always feel like if you can win or tie the first period, you're well on your way after 20 minutes, and the Florida Panthers have done exactly that.
Roberto Luongo's returned to Vancouver tonight. They exchanged goals and were even.
Florida Panthers getting a goal from Barkov, his third goal of the season, tying it up. Have done a good job killing penalties, which is one of the keys for the Florida Panthers in this hockey game against a very adept power play team in the Vancouver Canucks, tied for 8th in the NHL, coming into this game in that category.
We've got a big first intermission for you. We'll hear more from Roberto Luongo from yesterday's press conference. Also, Captain Willie Mitchell, oh, by the way, another former Canuck. We'll take a look at this current road trip for the Panthers and all the highlights from the first in a very busy Lexus intermission report. We're even after 1. Panthers hockey on Fox Sports Florida is brought to you by South Florida Ford. Visit us at southfloridaford.com. And by Doctors Hospital for Orthopedics and Sports Medicine. Online, it's baptisthealth.net/ortho. Roberto Luongo jacked up for his return to Vancouver. Former teammate Daniel Sedin got one by him early, but Luongo slammed the door after that. The Panthers answered back and were even after 20 minutes. Only visit this season for the Panthers here to Vancouver, British Columbia. 1-1 after 2 periods of play. Much anticipated goaltending matchup. Roberto Luongo's return here to Vancouver, where he spent 8 years. In 2010 in this building, he was the Team Canada goalie for that epic gold medal game against the United States. Sidney Crosby scored in overtime after Zach Parise scored on Luongo to tie it late in regulation. And of course, Sidney Crosby beat Ryan Miller for Team USA to get that gold medal. One of the great hockey games ever played in North America. And right now, the Panthers against Miller have time left on their power play with Kassian in the box.
24 seconds is just enough time to get the puck up the ice. We get a couple of opportunities on Ryan Miller here. Florida Panthers early second period. They could take a lead on a power play. That energizes the whole Panther bench.
9 shots in the first for the Panthers. 3 of those from Dmitry Kulikov and 2 from Huberdeau. Panthers were good in the face-off circle, as we showed you before in the first period, led by, well, no, not many draws in the first, but led by McKenzie and Barkov. So here we go, the Bjugstad line up front. Campbell and Ekblad. And Bjugstad quickly over the line. Put it behind the net. Ekblad hustles after it, but bat around the boards. And Burrows on the clear. Luongo way out of his net there. Tipped away by Benito. Puts it in front. Oh, big save on Burrows. And another shot. Luongo again. Oh, my goodness. 2 short-handed opportunities. Great ones in Luongo early in the second. Coming up huge.
Well, there's a lot of pressure put on even while you're killing penalties, and this was just a miscue. There's just no way that you can take the risk. Roberto left the puck there, but Campbell didn't come in like a real strong. I think on that little dump pass, you had Burrows got a piece of it. And that's why it wasn't a clean pass. You just can't allow that close a play with the man advantage.
Boy, strong there. Richardson and Burrows creating those opportunities. Luongo's solid, keeping it tied. Bolin trying to poke it free. He does for Willie Mitchell. But Henrik Sedin gets the steal. Bieksa chased by Bergenheim. Daniel Sedin now for Henrik. Turns at the goal line. Gives to Verbata. It's Henrik again. Puts it out in front. Good cutoff there by Kulikov. And ahead for Sean Bergenheim, and the Panthers are out. Fleischmann after the puck here. He gets there first. Tips it over to Bergenheim. And Bergenheim walks off the wall. Bergenheim puts it right through the slot. O'Brien thought better of jumping up. Good defensive decision, and now O'Brien with the steal. Tips it out to center. Barkov finds it. Barkov moves in one-on-one with Stanton. Barkov with a shot. Miller to the save. Oh, Alexander Barkov, strong effort here tonight so far.
Well, for a youngster, getting a goal early in the game is the best motivator you can find.
Barkov back around looking for Huberdeau. O'Brien stepped up to flip it behind the net. Stanton had trouble with it. But now Henrik Sedin, the end of a very long shift. And he'll fire it all the way down, and that shift will continue because it's icing.
Luongo with that save on Alex Burrows. Luongo was asked the one player that he wants to stop the most on the Canucks, and that was the name Alex Burrows. Burrows got a goal in the last meeting up in Sunrise against Luongo, and he said, that's the player that would always chirp me the most in practice, give me a hard time. So he wants to shut down Burrows. He did exactly that on that chance in front.
Yeah, that was a great chance for him and a super save. Campbell off the draw.
He's also one of the guys that Roberto has had lunch with during the days off. Alex Burrows and Luongo becoming good friends. But the competition doesn't end there, does it?
Some good work in the zone, but the puck came out, and then Campbell flips back over and an offside call on the Panthers.
Well, there's another connection to the Florida Panthers. There's Dale Talon. Dale Talon being drafted number 1, or in the first round, I should say, by the Vancouver Canucks. You know what? The province, the Vancouver Province newspaper, had him rated as the 48th greatest Vancouver Canuck hockey player. There's Dale Talon right there, who is at the moment fielding all kinds of calls, as all general managers who've got things going right now and talking about how they can all improve their team. It's that time of year.
Bouncing puck and the shot right on Luongo with a save on Horvat.
Now, Dale Talon was the originator, really, of getting Roberto Luongo. Talon saying it took a better part of 2 years talking, wondering whether or not they might be able to make a deal. And finally, when the Vancouver Canucks were taking back a little bit of money, they were in a situation where now they had been in a bind. The guy on the doorstep was Dale Talon, and that's how the great deals are made in the NHL. Due diligence by the general manager and being there when the deal is about to happen. Vancouver Canucks were 1-9-1. That was their record at the time of the trade.
Here comes Jimmy Hayes from the angle. Jokinen hunts it down, puts it right in front, tipped back to the line, and it comes all the way out. Hansen goes the other way. Willie Mitchell played it perfectly. Tanev now all the way down the ice, and another icing call here on the Canucks.
You know, and I mean, since the trade, which happened March 4th, 2014, Willie Mitchell, first season as head coach. Had a couple of years as assistant coach in Dallas, the only other NHL experience. The general manager is gone, and has been a wholesale change of management here in Vancouver.
Face-off win for the Panthers. Boys now Jokinen, or Barkov rather, with a shot. And by the way, they've now changed the Barkov goal to Huberdeau. They're saying Barkov never touched it. Huberdeau with a shot. Miller the save. Barkov charging the net. Boy, they have been good tonight. Barkov and Huberdeau, and right now it's Jonathan Huberdeau's goal from back in the first.
Now, he's played pretty good hockey. Another Frenchman. I guess I miss... I went to say Willie Mitchell, who has been a big part of this week here in Vancouver, having been a native here for several years. I was talking, actually, the coach is Willie Desjardins.
Barkov stays on. He gets a skate on it. Huberdeau with a good battle level to put it out in front and then sent wide by Boys. Good help off the draw by Huberdeau. Encouraging to see these two playing together here tonight. Gerard Gallant juggling the lines, and we may have a little chemistry between the two of them. And Barkov again, bouncing in front. Huberdeau has it go through him, though. Couldn't get a stick on it. Point shot here. Miller the save. And Ryan Miller will cover up.
And Jonathan Huberdeau has been good. That's now 16 points in his last 23 games. Only 2 points in his first 11 games. He's picked it up, and that's been the best line for the Panthers, and it's been because of the forecheck. They've had a lot of tenacity, created a lot of turnovers, but Jonathan Huberdeau putting up good numbers of late.
Yeah, starting to pick up points. You're right about that. He gets the goal. Officially originally given to Barkov, given to Huberdeau.
You know, as a coach, you never know when the chemistry is going to show up. And right now in tonight's hockey game, Huberdeau is winning battles. He is more battle hungry in this game so far than we had seen him. So that's where the chemistry, sometimes the speed of, or the style of the centerman you play with, you know, more matches what you're doing. And so far, anyway, it appears as though Barkov and Huberdeau have found a little chemistry there in terms of knowing where each other is on the play. And, of course, the veteran Brad Boyes on the other wing never hurts.
Sometimes we forget just how young those two are, especially Barkov. He turned 19 in September, just 5 months ago. Fleischmann knocks it away. Dave Bolin. That pass was tipped. He was looking for Campbell. Bolin smartly lets it go through. It's Fleischmann again. He's put together a couple of good shifts here. Bolin got tied up, and it comes free to the point. Campbell got a piece of it, but not enough to hold it in. Henrik Sedin glides over the Panther line. Now it's Burrows. Daniel Sedin back again for Henrik. So strong with that puck. Henrik Sedin holds. Daniel, wraparound attempt, never got it to the net, and Fleischmann skates away. Nearly 5 minutes into the second period here in Vancouver. They exchange goals in the first, and this is icing on the Canucks. Let's take another look at it. Originally given to Barkov, but now they say Barkov never touched this. It's a Huberdeau goal.
Well, this is a great angle. So there is, oh, wow, my. So that's right. Elder's the one who actually put it in, isn't it? Elder
They'll say it hit Edler. I still think Barkov's stick got a piece of it there. No, it was Edler's stick,
that's
yeah.
Right. Edler's stick
on the other side of the glove.
And underneath
okay.
the glove, yeah. That's a
wow.
great angle.
What a great look that was by our cameras. Kopetsky hustles over to a loose puck and feeds Upshaw. Panthers getting to work here with some good effort along the walls in the offensive zone. This is what Gerard Gallant wanted to see. Didn't see enough of it in Washington on Sunday. And now Olsen from the point shoots. It goes wide. Kopetsky again behind the net. And again to give to McKenzie. One more time, Thomas. Kopetsky, sharp angle shot. Miller to save. Olsen steps into one. And Miller's got it. And then Bieksa gives Upshaw a shot. And things will settle down. Go to PanthersFanRewards.com and earn points by taking tonight's Game Day Challenge. You can play trivia, answer polls, win Fox Sports Florida gear. So log on, PanthersFanRewards.com. Panthers have taken over the shot advantage, as you see. They were behind early on in that department. Bjugstad on the draw here against Richardson. 15 goals this year for Bjugstad. Not even halfway through the season. He had 16 all of last year. Canucks able to control. Kassian played it back. Bjugstad all over Tanev. And now O'Brien down the boards to help out. Bodies bang. Puck still free along the wall. Held in. Brian Campbell moving. Putting it in front, and it just went wide. He was looking for Bjugstad. Jokinen with a steal now. It's Hayes to Campbell. Back again, Jokinen. Puts it out in front, tipped away. Matthias gets the feed, moving in. And Luongo tracked that all the way.
Boy, Shane O'Brien playing pretty well there. Right on top of that play is the only man back. That is a play that's got to be on Jokinen. Should have shot the puck, got his team in a bad situation because he wanted to go backwards with the puck.
Last few shifts, the Panthers have really gotten to work in the offensive zone. That's when they're at their best.
You know, one of the things, Goldie, too, is that this is not a very big defense for the Vancouver Canucks. I'm talking in terms of size. And when you've got Barkov, Bjugstad coming in on you consistently, who are 225 pounds plus, it is tough for the Vancouver defense. So if the Panthers can keep up leaning on the Vancouver defense, it'll pay dividends.
That one kind of fluttered and stopped, so no icing. Keep an eye on that. Barkov has been strong in this game tonight. Ekblad, and that one goes into the Panther bench. We get a stoppage of play in the second period in Vancouver. We remain tied at 1. One game here in the second period. Henrik Sedin, there's Dale Talon, and here's Bill Lindsay.
And you mentioned Dale Talon was voted the 48th best Canuck in the history of the game. On that list, Roberto Luongo was number 6. The Sedin twins are on it, ahead of Luongo. Pavel Bure, Trevor Linden, and Marcus Naslund are considered the top 5 Canucks of all time. And I got to tell you, here at Ice Level, you get the sense here in the rink that a lot of the fans are kind of hoping that maybe the Panthers get a win here for Luongo. There was a lot of cheers every time Luongo makes a save. There's a lot of signs for Lou. So I think you might have a little bit of a split here in this Vancouver crowd in which way they want this game to go.
Well, I tell you what, Roberto Luongo has given a lot more to this fan base than the current goaltender. Now, Ryan Miller's a good acquisition. Obviously, a good goaltender. We know that's got 20 wins on the season. But if the fans are going to favor one goaltender in tonight's hockey game, certainly Roberto Luongo will be that man.
Daniel Sedin scored 3:39 into the game. Luongo's made some big stops on some good chances since then, and here's another icing on the Canucks. That's their 3rd of this period already.
You know, I talked a little bit about the fact that Willie Desjardins, they're the new coach of the Vancouver Canucks. His defense is not very big. He's got one guy in Edler who's 215. And then after that, the other 5 defensemen in the game tonight are all under 200 pounds. That's where the Panthers can really take advantage.
Ekblad shot deflected in. Barkov got that one. And the young Panthers are off and running in Vancouver. 2-1 Florida.
You're not going to be able to stop the big bodies from getting to the front of the net, and that is exactly what happens on this play. Of course, winning the faceoff is key, but Barkov getting to the front of the net, there's nothing that the smallish defenseman, even Bjekstad, who's got that little slash at the end of it, there he slashes Barkov, and the puck's already in the net. And they didn't want to give Barkov the goal in the first period. Well, he went out and got this one. There will not be a doubt Barkov will get his 3rd goal of the season.
Ekblad and Huberdeau will get the assist. A goal and assist tonight for Huberdeau. Ekblad with another point. And boy, I love Alexander Barkov is at his best when he goes to the front of that net. And he's been doing that all night here tonight. And the Panthers have their first lead. They did this Sunday in Washington, remember. They were down 1-0. They ultimately lost the game, but they were ahead 2-1. And that work ethic, they've been grinding in the offensive zone. It's led to good things. Burrows shoots in. Swats it around the boards past Daniel Sedin. And Brad Boyes will carry to center. Flip it ahead for Willie Mitchell. Mitchell puts the brakes on. Now it's Kopecky. Turning and shooting. It hit Upshaw, who just came on the change. Kopecky bothering Tanev, and Kopecky with a steal. Strong return tonight for Thomas Kopecky. He's looked good. Upshaw backhander in front. Stick save Miller. The first goal for the Panthers, changed from Barkov to Huberdeau, is unassisted.
Well, I don't know officially for sure, but when you take a look at it, Barkov was in front of that net creating the melee and the problem.
Aaron Ekblad adding to his rookie record total for points by a Panther defenseman. Pay attention to his head. Look at his head's up the whole way. He doesn't bury his head. A lot of the defensemen would put that head down. That's why he has such a good ability to get the puck through. That head is up looking the whole way. Barkov in front, but Panthers win that draw, and Ekblad has that head up, puts it right on the stick of Barkov for the deflection.
Edler with a point shot. That whistled wide of Luongo's net. 3rd game of this road trip. And Aaron Ekblad has 3 points. 4 in his last 5 games. This is Richardson leaving it for Kassian. Moving in. Richardson again. Puts it out in front. Loose puck. The Panthers are on it. Hayes is out. Hayes giving chase. Hit on Edler. Weber there to support well. Kassian, who put it right in front of his own net, but Edler's there. Richardson 1-on-2 and knocked away. Jussi Jokinen. Mathias came back to play the puck. So the Panthers now have taken over the lead in shots and have the lead in the game 2-1. Tanev got the red line that time. Took a big hit from Bjugstad after the dump in. Bergenheim. And Bjugstad. And on the tape for Campbell. Return feed for Bergenheim. It rolled a bit on him. Bergenheim still gets in the zone. Knocked down, though. Panthers go for a change. Hansen. Tipped away by Kulikov. And there's Bergenheim to support again. And it rolls all the way down. See if the Panthers can put the pressure on the D one more time and make them work. But they able to get a clear here. And Kulikov tipped this puck, and it goes out of play. 18-year-old Aaron Ekblad with the shot. 19-year-old Alexander Barkov with a deflection for the lead. A local product from British Columbia. There's Willie Mitchell on the right at 37 years old. 22-year-old teammate Nick Bjugstad. What do they have in common? Fishing. So on Monday's day off, Willie Mitchell took Bjugstad fishing, and a dozen. That's a dozen bull trout caught by Nick Bjugstad and Willie Mitchell and Nicole. Bjugstad told me it was so cold I couldn't feel my hands reeling it in. And I was talking to Bjugstad and I said, now, where did you go? And he goes, well, and he wasn't kidding. I can't tell you that. Willie may not be happy if I give away his fishing spots because he fishes there all summer. So, location undisclosed in the Vancouver area.
Well done.
You could appreciate that, Danny, not giving away the spots.
I certainly can. I tell you what, Willie Mitchell has been such a settling factor to this hockey team and also had really settling words for the Luongo return here in this building.
Luongo sticks that one away. Panthers with a shot advantage in this period of 9-4. They have really turned it up in the second. This puck out of play for a stoppage. Tonight on Fox Sports Live, they've got all the news from around the world of sports, including NHL and NBA highlights. That's Fox Sports Live tonight on Fox Sports 1 and always streaming on Fox Sports Go. We're back with you again tomorrow night. Quick turnaround. Luongo and the Panthers headed to Calgary for a 9 o'clock face-off tomorrow on Fox Sports Florida. Next home game a week from tonight, Thursday against Colorado. It starts a homestand for the Panthers. Second half of the season approaching for the Cats. Should be some great hockey in January, February, March, and April at the BB&T Center. Panthers have been really good at home this season. In behind the net, played around the boards. Mitchell will get there. Puck pinballs and bounces cross ice. Daniel Sedin couldn't clear. Here's Barkov with a feed from Huberdeau. Burrows now under pressure again from Huberdeau and Barkov. Oh, have they been good here tonight. Weber. And he finally funnels it out to center. Campbell gets it around the wall and out. Spiza turnover. Thomas Kopecky moving and shooting. Save. Kopecky again. Backhander in front, tipped away. Kopecky's had a couple of great looks here tonight. Ekblad at center ice with Kassian. Kassian able to move in on the backhand. Centering feed knocked away. Ekblad blocked the shot from Richardson. Richardson. Now Upshaw on the clear for Kopecky. Jumping up is Campbell. He's got it onside. Floats it deep for McKenzie. Spiza now under pressure from Upshaw. He gets the steal. Upshaw spins it out in front, but only blue jerseys there. Panthers in the middle of a change. Cleared the other way. Kassian climbs around Ekblad. Puts it off the outside of the net. The Exa has an open man. It's Stanton waiting and shooting, and Luongo stretched out and made the save. And the Lou chants go up from his former fans in Vancouver.
I'll tell you what, that was an easy save for Roberto Luongo. He saw it all the way from 60 feet. Take a look at the work of Bjugstad, 27 and white in front of the net. He takes Richardson, literally moves him out of the way, so Roberto Luongo can see the puck from the point. What work from the centerman, who is usually tabbed to help the two defensemen down low. Never a better job than what you've just seen. Actually moved Richardson out of the way.
The Exa fan on the point shot there. Able to get it down the boards. Dorsett rode Mitchell to the wall. Kulikov, but taken by Stanton. Luongo got the paddle out on Dorsett, and then Bjugstad gave him a check. Canucks with some pressure now. The Exa down low with a shot. Luongo with a glove save, and then he gets bumped by Dorsett. Bjugstad over to him. Hayes gives him a little shot. Oh, and then Mitchell took a little pop there. And Dorsett with a little extra shot there at Luongo.
You know, I tell you what, this line has been very valuable for the Vancouver Canucks. They bring that kind of energy that you talk about, and there's Dorsett. But you know what? The ever-present Bjugstad in front of the net helped out his defense, and the little scrum still hasn't stopped.
Yeah, they didn't let it go. We're going to get some penalties here, I believe. You know what's interesting? Jussi Jokinen is an offensive player. Whenever something is going on, I've noticed this, Denny, through this season, He's one of the first men in every single time defending a teammate. It happens often with UC.
Well, BX is trying to take advantage of things right there and deep down in the zone, so that faceoff's going to have to come out. Well, no, that's not the case anymore. Sorry about that. But Bieksa is going to the penalty box. He was right in the middle of that scrum. And the Florida Panthers will be without the services of UC Oakland.
So we got unsportsmanlike conduct for both gentlemen. I use the term loosely with that little scrum.
You're going to stay with Bieksa, right?
That's right. Here comes Ekblad, 4-on-4 hockey, has a little space. Ekblad gets it deep. Ekblad trying to beat Tanev, and look at the low leverage Ekblad used there to get in first. But now Vrbata getting free. Radim Vrbata to the Panther line. Ekblad knocked it away. Boland again. Ekblad again. And now Campbell. And he'll give it back, and the Panthers will reset. Fleischmann and Boland go off the ice. Here comes Barkov and Huberdeau, who have been good so far in this game, both on the score sheet. And they've got some open ice. Weber got rid of it. And Barkov with the steal. Double teamed along the board. Spiza able to get it to Weber again. Huberdeau and Barkov working the forecheck. But now Spiza and Weber able to get it out. Henrik Sedin makes his way into the line, gets in front, couldn't get a good shot away. Spiza on the loose puck. The give to Weber. Slap shot. Blocked away by Luongo. Kulikov now. Nice feed for Huberdeau. Mitchell's the trailer. Mitchell hammers one on goal. Big rebound. Daniel Sedin there to clear to brother Henrik. Continuous play on the 4-on-4. Here comes Daniel Sedin. Centering pass. Henrik circles back. Bothered by Kopecky. And Kopecky fires it. Boy, that must have gone off a Canuck stick, I guess.
Well, the idea is that you move it to the middle to the other defenseman, and Mitchell was right there, but the pass was just a little off, and Roberto had to be sharp.
It was on goal.
Yeah, when you get all the traffic, you know, the strong side is covered. Most teams will try and go to the middle, even in front of their own net, to get that quick out. That was the attempt by Kopecky.
Here comes Jokinen out of the penalty box. Moving, maintaining possession. Throws it off the side of the net. Miller got a piece of it. So we're 5-on-5 now. 4-on-4 went quickly. Continuous play. Matthias for the Canucks puts it on goal. Luongo will cover with the glove. 4:44 to go in the second period. The Barkov goal has the Panthers on top on the road in Vancouver. Latter stages of the second period, Alexander Barkov and the Panthers have a 2-1 lead.
Alexander Barkov not only is on the scoreboard and created the opportunity for the first goal, but 4-on-4, he is a tenacious forechecker. And there you see him getting the puck turned over. Florida Panthers, Huberdeau right on top of it as though they're anticipating one another. These guys are operating like pistons in the offensive zone. And Barkov does have a goal, but maybe more importantly to him, he is a +2. Meaning he's been on the ice for 2 goals, 4, none against. And of course, oftentimes playing against the Sedin brothers.
Barkov now suddenly, offensively, he's got 4 points in his last 7 games. Huberdeau, a goal and an assist tonight, and here we go. The draw in the Panther zone. Luongo has 20 saves. The Panthers have really picked up their play here in the second period. They've been better. Vey has a loose puck. Willie Mitchell. Boland. And a good out to Thomas Fleischmann. He gets the red line and gets it deep. Mitchell able to gather it in. Takes a wrister right on, glove save. Friday, January 13th or January 16th is the first Panthers live game night when the Cats get home next Friday. Featuring Coach Gerard Gallant. It'll be at the World of Beer on Clematis Street in West Palm Beach. It's the first Panthers game night of the season. Raffles and prizes, and meet the Panthers coach at 6 p.m. in West Palm. The night before, the Panthers will host Colorado. That's next Thursday. Monday the 19th, these Canucks are in town.
You mean we're going home at some point?
At some point, you get to get back to Florida, Danny. Yes, sir. Kopecky, a good hit on Weber. Forces the turnover. Upshaw puts it in front. Panthers stay on it. Kopecky again. His return tonight to the lineup after missing 4 games with an injury has been strong. Verbata sticked away by Luongo. Kopecky with Weber. Weber got it to the corner. Put right in front. Comes all the way through. Upshaw. Nice little play there by Kopecky with the foot. That's why they practice soccer before the games. And Campbell with a shot. Steered away. Barkov again working the wall. Huberdeau after it. Got it to the point, but it came out of the zone. Panthers will reset. Kulikov, lead pass. Huberdeau's in on Miller. Huberdeau scores! Hooby-dooby-doo! Huge night for Huberdeau. 3-1 Panthers.
Oh, my. I tell you what, you just love watching young players perform night after night because with a little confidence, they do things you've never seen before, and I have not seen this play by Huberdeau. Huberdeau, les Canadiens Français, they've seen this before in Quebec. My goodness, is that some kind of a goal as he gets a perfect pass from Kulikov. We talked about minimize the time in the defensive zone. Kulikov, a perfect strike to a streaking Huberdeau, and he buries the top shelf. Wow, how impressive is that play?
2 goals and an assist tonight for Huberdeau out here in Vancouver. 3 unanswered by the Panthers. And that Barkov line has been something else tonight. Kulikov and Mitchell get the assist on Huberdeau's second of the evening. And the Panthers are now up by a pair. And it was interesting when we had Willie Mitchell talking to Billy about the resiliency of this team. Here's Henrik Sedin putting one in front. And Willie Mitchell's answer of the Panthers always being resilient, answering back. Willie Mitchell said, hey, it'd be nice not to have to answer back sometimes.
Yeah.
Let's get a lead. And Mitchell and Kulikov get the helpers on the Huberdeau goal. Luongo makes a stop there, and then Jokinen able to scoop it up. But taken by Henrik Sedin. Down low, Matthias. Free puck, bottom of the circle. Henrik Sedin again. Jokinen took it away from him. And then Jimmy Hayes gets the clear. Bukestad's going to charge at Tanev. Bukestad all over Tanev. And Tanev goes down. They're going to call a penalty, though, on Bukestad. And then Kassian gives a cross-check to Bukestad. And let's see if this winds up evening up. And look at Richardson throwing punches at Jokinen.
Now, Bukestad's going to get an original penalty. We know that. But after that, whether or not the referee makes any other calls at the retaliation there, look at Kassian. Looks like he's looking at the referee, wondering if there's going to be some kind of a call made. Now having to talk to O'Brien and Hayes. Well, at the moment, it appears as though only Bukestad. No, we're going to get somebody else from the Vancouver Canucks. It looks like Richardson's also going to the penalty box.
For hooking, 36 Florida and 15 Vancouver, 2 each for roughing.
The Panthers will still be short on this one. But there you see the push. Oh, wow. Anyway, you saw the penalty to Bukestad. Tanev went down. That was called. Then the melee created a couple of roughing penalties on Richardson and Jokinen.
So this is huge. Final minutes of the second. The Canucks will get their 3rd power play of the night. They had 2 in the first. The Panthers did the job on the PK.
Yeah, for all the reasons that you play the game, you're right, Goldie, this is big. At the end of the period, 2 minutes left, killing this penalty would certainly be a great way to keep the momentum on the Panthers side.
BX able to get to the puck. McKenzie hustles over, swings at it, couldn't get it out though. Bonino finds Bieksa, puts it out in front. And the shot, Luongo got a piece of it and put in front again, tipped away by Mitchell. And McKenzie gets out. McKenzie moving in and shooting. Miller steers it away.
Boy, I think Bonino actually hit that puck out of the air to get it going across the front of the crease of Roberto Luongo.
They over the Panther line. Stops. Feeds the point. Bonino knocked away by Upshaw. And a nifty play there by Dave Bolin, killing some time. And Bolin will hammer it all the way down.
Get it down the ice like you mean it. That's what Bolin did just before going off the ice.
2-second differential between the penalty clock and the game clock as we wind down in the second. Now Henrik Sedin is on, along with Daniel. Henrik's got the puck. Stole it away by Derek McKenzie. It rolled on him, though, and they hold it in. Verbata. Edler. Henrik. Sedin waits. Feeds Daniel Sedin. Back again to Henrik. And Edler one more time. Slap shot. Luongo the save. Oh, Roberto. They got one by him early. He has been fantastic since.
Brian Campbell right on the doorstep to get any rebound, and he gets it right down the ice. It's a team effort.
Yeah, big on the one and done. Done a good job of that tonight, the Panthers.
You know, they're working hard. There's no doubt. They've had a couple of days rest, 3 days rest. They've practiced hard, a couple of days of practice. And they've had a lot of time to think about what happened in the last game against the Washington Capitals. And the Panthers took control by getting another goal, extending their lead by 2, something that didn't happen in the last game. And the killer instinct is starting to show in the character of this Florida Panther hockey team.
A super second period. The Panthers up a pair. Going to the third. The second intermission is coming up. And we will have more on the return of Roberto Luongo to Vancouver. Our player spotlight, all the highlights as well. The Panthers scored twice in the second and will carry a 3-1 lead into the third period. Panthers hockey on Fox Sports Florida is brought to you by Southeast Toyota. Toyota, let's go places. Game 3 of this road trip for the Panthers. They're 1-1 so far here in Vancouver. It's been a strong 40 minutes for Florida. Third period about to get underway here in Rogers Arena in Vancouver. Panthers 1-1 so far in the 6-game road trip. And there's a look at Jonathan Huberdeau. Boy, big night for him. Great to see a pair of goals and an assist for the Panthers.
Well, I know he's happy. The whole Huberdeau family is happy. But I got to tell you that a big smile came on the face of Coach Gerard Gallant when Huberdeau buried that puck for the third goal. Gerard Gallant, you got to remember, coached Huberdeau in junior. And he, more than anybody, wants that kid to succeed and to really come on strong. Huberdeau told me a little earlier he was very disappointed with his sophomore season, wanted to make amends, and it looks like he is well on his way with the support of the coach who knows him better than anybody.
So here we go in the third. Panthers have scored 3 straight goals after Daniel Sedin got one early for Vancouver against Roberto Luongo. Battle out at center. And Nick Bukestad gathers it in. Ekblad gets rid of it quickly under pressure. Verbata now. And they're offside. Well, the Panthers have been here in Vancouver 3 days. They have not played a game. And check it out. It doesn't happen often in the NHL. When the Panthers have had time off, they have fared very well this year.
Well, I guess I'm not the only guy that does well with rest. Now they came out chomping at the bit. The early goings was a little rough, though, in this hockey game, as it appeared as though the Canucks had a bit of an edge in speed and sharpness. But the Panthers quickly responded after being stung by the opening goal of the game by the Vancouver Canucks, and have played a better game ever since.
Stanton, cross ice, it came out of the zone. Bolin put the pressure on Bieksa, and then Bergenheim steps up, and Bergenheim and Bolin do the work, and they get in the zone, and Bolin shoots. Miller holds that one in the glove. The chance of a lifetime. Yesterday and tomorrow sit side by side. The Daytona 500 is coming this February the 22nd, and tickets are on sale now at Daytona500.com. Opening minute of this third period. Bolin, no stranger to these Vancouver Canucks and the Sedins. All those years with Chicago and the playoff battles against Vancouver. Off the draw, Barkov and Huberdeau trying to find it, but instead it's Kassian. They give to Matthias. Shane O'Brien with a beat on him, and he separated him from the puck, but Kassian's got it again. Kassian trying to get out in front. Tipped away by O'Brien. Boys, Barkov. Huberdeau again. Barkov to the point, O'Brien, but he overskates. Dylan Olsen back to cover as Matthias breaks in. Matthias wraparound attempt, never got on goal. And late in the shift, Boys gets the red line and shoots in.
They may not know each other really, really well, but Dylan Olsen and Shane O'Brien really seem to be covering well for one another. When Shane O'Brien moved up and missed the puck, Dylan Olsen was right there to pick up the slack.
Here comes Upshaw, moving from the angle, gets out in front, the backhander poked away, it's free. Kopetsky took a swipe at it, and Miller made the save. McKenzie fires one in front and hit the bodies, and Spiza able to get it to the line but not out. McKenzie, Upshaw, Kopetsky, they have been effective tonight. They've done the job with the dirty work in the offensive zone. Able to hold it in again here. They nearly produced the goal. It's Kopetsky with the old hard hat on, back in the lineup after missing time with injury. Campbell fires, deflected on goal. Kopetsky on the backhand, stopped by Miller again. Bukestad able to dig it free. Panthers are all over him now. Ekblad, Kopetsky, sharp angle, shoots, Miller the save. It's loose in front of and clear. They did everything but find the back of the net there. And the Panthers, you gotta love the aggressiveness. Up two, they are pushing hard offensively.
They know with a 2-goal lead, it doesn't mean anything with 20 minutes remaining. They had to come out of this period, spend a lot of time in the other team's zone. So far, that's exactly what they're doing.
Again on the forecheck, just relentless. It's Hayes with Bukestad and Jokinen. And Bukestad finds Jokinen. O'Brien in front, it's Bukestad looking and shooting, and Miller with the save. Oh, what pressure.
Thomas Kopetsky's missed the last 4 games because of injury, and he's been a main factor tonight. The numbers aren't great, but the compete level has been there all season long. Gets back in the lineup, and he's been a difference tonight. And on the penalty kill, you mentioned that the Panthers have given up 4 power play goals the last 6 games. The Canucks are 0 for 3 on the power play. Big reason Thomas Kopetsky back in the lineup. He's been dynamic.
He's had some great chances, no question about that. And it's funny, sometimes you don't know you miss a player till he's not there. And I think Kopetsky kind of fell into that the last week or so.
Well, let me tell you something that's real important about Thomas Kopetsky. The fact that he is never outworked.
Another steal there, but Jokinen tried to go cross ice, and that was picked off.
As a 32-year-old veteran, that leadership that he is showing is the fact that he's never outworked every shift. That tells a lot to the young kids like Barkov, like Bukestad. That's leadership.
He gives you the honest effort, that's for sure. Jokinen now got a piece of it. Dave Bolin will backtrack, settle things down. Both teams get the partial change. Sent all the way down the ice. Bolin. Ooh, thought Bolin had a step. So did he, but an icing call on the Panthers.
Well, there's another fellow that really should be celebrated here in Vancouver, maybe at some other time, but local newspapers talked about Willie Mitchell. 5 years ago, Willie Mitchell was traded away, went to LA, won 2 cups. The quote was actually that had he stayed here, maybe the Vancouver Canucks would have won a Stanley Cup themselves with Willie Mitchell. Why did it happen? Willie had a concussion 5 years ago, and the brass in Vancouver made a decision that they weren't sure if he could come back to that level of play. We're talking about a 32-year-old. Now, 5 years later, Willie Mitchell comes back to Vancouver, 2 cups, and celebrated along with Roberto Luongo. Outstanding for the new captain of the Florida Panthers. And what a leader he has been.
Richardson gets in. Richardson wraparound shot in front of Luongo and a big save there. Oh, Roberto Luongo outstanding again and more pushing and shoving in front of the net. What a play by Richardson.
I tell you what, that was some return cover-up by Roberto Luongo. Watch as Luongo goes to the front, and you know what? The instincts show that you cover the lower side. That's one thing about the style of Roberto Luongo. If you want to beat him, you got to go upstairs. You got to go upstairs real quick. And Roberto Luongo was right there on the rebound. Richardson made one heck of a play coming around the net. But Roberto came back and played the odds. That's sometimes what you have to do. Wasn't really aware where the puck was, but did his best to cover the low side and got the save.
Huberdeau chasing Stanton. Huberdeau gives him a good hit. Barkov knocked it down, but it's cleared away, and Bieksa trying to get a step. Ekblad smooth getting back on Bieksa defensively.
Bieksa's playing like a wild man right now. What is he doing all the way up the ice? He's a defenseman. And he's not an offensive defenseman either.
Boys and Stanton banged hard as Boys dumped it in.
You know, the Vancouver Canucks are trying to pick up the physical side of the game, and that's why Bieksa was so far up the ice. He pinched in, tried to get a hit, fell down, hurt himself, and then almost had a breakaway.
Lead pass here for Hansen. Well played by Dylan Olsen. Now Bonino. Hit again by Olsen, but Bonino able to bounce off. Verbata had it roll on him. Edler holds it in. Chance in front. Bonino. It's off the outside of the net. Good play by Shane O'Brien to deny the first shot. So the Canucks with a little bit of pushback.
Well, you know, they're not going to stop. They're at home, and they're a very good hockey team. You take a look at the standings. They're right up there at the top in the Western Conference, and they've been putting together some pretty good points. But you got to talk about Shane O'Brien, who now having, 530 games in the NHL, and Goodbranson being on the injured list, he has really stepped up his game, and I think that he and Olsen have meshed pretty good, or really well, in the absence of Goodbranson. That's the depth, often talked about with praise, that the Florida Panthers have.
Hayes pushes it deep in the zone. Bukestad. Hayes again, turning and shooting, deflected by Edler. Now Burrows clears ahead. Daniel Sedin has the Vancouver goal. Came back at 3:39 of the first. 3 in a row from the Panthers since then. Huberdeau 2, Barkov 1. Kulikov battling both Sedins.
Well, he might be getting a Panther penalty. That's twice that the fans have tried to call for a penalty.
Spiza shoots, knocked down in front. And it's Bukestad on the puck. Yeah, the fans are looking for one. Then Bukestad got his stick chopped out. Burrows for Henrik Sedin. And now the point shot, and Luongo fought it off from Weber. So they're letting some stuff go now.
Yeah,
Kulikov loses his stick. Sticks are flying everywhere. Panthers need a stoppage or a clear. Point shot. Luongo again. Oh, Roberto Luongo back in Vancouver has been superb. The Panthers here in the third period remain in a 3-1 advantage. We love when we're on the road and we see that Panther jersey in the stands. 3-1 Florida lead. Let's go down to Billy.
Talk about the resiliency of this team all season long. It's been there. The Panthers have won 7 straight games after regulation losses. They lost last game in Washington. They're looking to make it 8 straight wins. This is a team that just bends but doesn't break. We haven't seen a lot of inconsistency from this team, whether it's period to period, shift to shift, game to game. They always seem to bounce back.
Now that's a testament to Gerard Gallant, the leadership. And here tonight, they have been strong. Gallant, you can see the intensity. He doesn't want anybody's foot to get off the gas pedal.
You know, a lot of motivation for the Vancouver Canucks that we talked about. That Pacific Division is awfully tight. Other than Anaheim, you've got 4 teams all within 4 points of one another.
Panthers break in. Fleischmann with a chance. Oh, and Miller got a piece of it with a glove. Wow, was that close. And it rolls over the line offside.
Now Fleischmann, having Bergenheim with him, did the right thing. Got a good shot off and a good save by Ryan Miller. But a 2-on-1 again. These are the guys that have to show the energy for the young guys, and they're getting that kind of leadership by the Florida Panthers. Here you see the eyes of Fleischmann. He certainly saw Bergenheim. It was a 2-on-1, but he elected to shoot, which is never a bad idea.
Huberdeau and Barkov again at it. And now Boys. Centering pass knocked away. They looking to go the other way. Luongo. Another save and he'll hold it. Again, the pushing and shoving in front of the net.
Well, I think Dorset might get a match if he and O'Brien get together.
Want to thank our loyal season ticket holders for watching tonight's game here on Fox Sports Florida. The broadcast code is Stanley. Go to mypanthersrewards.com. Put the code in the next 24 hours.
Here you see the shots. Florida Panthers have taken back the lead in that department with 30 shots on goal. And that's been outshot in the last 5 games.
Kopecky hammers one high over the net. And here's Upshaw. Keeping the play alive with McKenzie, but now taken away by Verbata. McKenzie trying to get back to negate an odd man rush. And Ekblad steers it to center. Gathered in, Kopecky goes down. They let that go as well. Bieksa just got it past Kopecky. And Hansen finds some open ice. Weber, slow down at the red line, and then he labels Campbell to play it. Both teams grab the change. 11.5 to go now in the third. Bergenheim works the boards. The give to Fleischmann. Fleischmann looking for some room. Fleischmann continues holding on to the puck, just working hard on Burrows. I mean, the Panthers have really gotten to work here. Tipped away. Held in by Kulikov. Cross ice, Dave Bolin takes a look, puts it in front. Bergenheim couldn't get a deflection. And finally, Vancouver clears. Henrik Sedin tracks it down, but then couldn't control. Kulikov. Crowd getting on the home team a bit. Here comes Nick Bjugstad down the wing. Bjugstad pulls up, puts it right through the slot. Carries to the point. Shane O'Brien hustles over to hold it in. And Bjugstad again, battling Kassian. The help from Hayes. And the Panthers just continue. Just play a smart North game. Bjugstad again. Jokinen hustling after the puck. I'm not sure how many times I've said that tonight. A Panther hustling after the puck. They have worked.
It's a word of the game, I got to tell you that, because they just have not stopped. The hustle is on.
Midway through the third period now. Panthers have held Vancouver. Only 3 shots on goal in the period. And Barkov, strong on the puck, got the clear. Richardson trying to go the other way. Huberdeau on the back check. Just wouldn't let him get a chance. Comes in behind the Panther net. Put out in front. Kassian couldn't get a shot away. And Boys got it up the wall, but not out. Now it comes to center. Barkov dug it free. It's Boys. Try to get a step there and feed Huberdeau, but couldn't do it. Horvat, right off the bench. That's not going to work with the veteran Brian Campbell. He's seen that before. Horvat again now. Trying to get out in front. He does save Luongo, and now a penalty on the Panthers. So the Vancouver Canucks will get a power play chance in the third. Luongo will be tested again. Blatt on the score sheet again with an assist tonight, and the Panthers have a 3-1 lead. Let's take a look at our ADT defensive play of tonight's game.
Everywhere we go, there's a lot of people very impressed with the way he plays. And again, his speed, he comes back, is deceptive. He takes the exit totally out of the play. No penalty call on the play. And by the way, he's a +1 in this game, now a +10, which is a great stat for a defenseman. +10 leads the Florida Panthers. 18 years old. People cannot believe it, even those of us who watch him every night. It really is a marvel, the poise that he brings to the game.
Panthers on the penalty kill. 4th power play of the night for Vancouver. The PK, one of your keys to the game, Denny, has been super. And this is big right here. Daniel Sedin, along with Henrik on the ice here. And they get it to Vrbata. Again, the 4 forwards out there. Edler up at the blue line. Vrbata. Cross ice. McKenzie read it well. McKenzie able to get there and bat it out of the zone. He has had a very strong game tonight overall, McKenzie. Vrbata controls. They give to Daniel Sedin. Rolled on him a bit, but able to find brother Henrik. Mitchell separated him from the puck. It squirts free to Daniel again. And now Henrik. Henrik Sedin goes for Daniel down low. Sent out in front through everybody. Chases onto the point. Oh, and then a high stick. And the Panthers are going to be 2 men down here. Oh boy, Vrbata on the delayed call. Henrik Sedin looking, cross ice, Edler. It's deflected. And now the whistle. A high stick on Bolin.
Florida penalty number 63, 4 minutes, high sticking.
My goodness.
Oh, my.
That is tough.
Oh, my. You talk about the most inadvertent high stick. And the idea here is that you're supposed to be in control of your stick, but you've got a situation where Bolin is diving at the puck, and it goes up the stick of the opposing player, Edler. Oh, my goodness, what a call. Well, you can see how irate Gerard Gallant is trying to get the referee, Francois Saint Laurent, to listen to his argument. Nothing is going to change, obviously. They're not going to take it back. The Panthers are going to have to take this game on their own.
Roberto Luongo back. This is his time to shine. Your best penalty killer, 5-on-3 right now has to be Bobby Lou. This will be his biggest test of the night.
Well, no question they need him here. So 40 seconds of a 5-on-3 advantage. The Sedins are out there with Burrows, Vrbata, and Edler. McKenzie, Mitchell, and Kulikov for Florida. And McKenzie won the faceoff, but Edler holds it in. They get set up. Burrows is out in front. Daniel Sedin. Down low, Vrbata. Puts it in front. Edler couldn't handle it. And Willie Mitchell gets a huge clear. Same 3 stay on for Florida. Same 5 for Vancouver. Daniel Sedin glides in. Henrik gives it to Edler in the slot. Henrik again. Daniel Sedin, Alex Edler. Henrik Sedin bobbled it. Regains control. Takes a look, goes up high for Edler. Henrik again in front for Bata. And Campbell is out. They didn't get a shot on goal in the 5-on-3. 5-on-4 now. Verbata knocked away by Willie Mitchell. And Brian Campbell will get to center. So we're in the first of the double minor on Bolland here. And the Panthers masterful. McKenzie, Kulikov, and Mitchell in the 5-on-3 defensively.
You know, and a big part of it is the fact that whenever there was an attempt made to get an east-west pass, all three Florida Panthers had their stick on the ice covering the lane.
Bonino stolen away by Kopecky. The clearing attempt at the back of Jokinen, but jumping up there to play it, Dylan Olsen. And so far, the Panthers haven't given him a sniff. Bieksa through all three zones. It's Cassian now making his way towards the front of the net. Shane O'Brien picked his pocket. And he and Dorsett go hard to the wall. Kopecky with another steal. Calmly, Thomas Kopecky, the veteran. And now the Boo Birds are out in Vancouver.
Well, I'm not sure what Cassian is doing. He's looking right at Kopecky and gives him the puck. They've got the Vancouver Canucks frustrated.
Henrik Sedin couldn't handle it. And Roberto Luongo covers up. The first of the double minor to Bolland is done.
Now he's only gaining more support is Roberto Luongo, as after that stoppage of the play, you hear Lou, Lou, Lou. The Sedins and the Vancouver Canucks on power play opportunities. Here's one thing you do when you prepare for this Vancouver Canucks. They don't have that big bomb from the blue line. You almost don't have to worry about a defenseman taking a big shot or making a play. Everything is done down low. So even if you're 3 against 5, Florida Panthers know that they can stay close to the front of the net, not have to worry about a big shooter on the blue line, and that helped the Florida Panthers kill off the two-man disadvantage.
They continue to do the job here. Canucks have to reset again. Now the Sedins are back on. Henrik Sedin through center. Verbata on the wing, looking in front, has a man, it's Burrows, and Luongo robbed him! Luongo scrambles back to his skates. Free behind the net, Burrows again. Luongo has gotten him twice in this game, point blank, one-on-one. Verbata double teamed, and it's Kopecky again. McKenzie, one-on-one with Edler, but he will just kill some time. Minute left in the Bolland penalty. Under 5 to go in the game. 2 from Huberdeau, 1 from Barkov tonight. And the goaltending of Luongo. It has been a full team effort for the Panthers trying to close it out. Jokinen and Fleischmann, the forwards now on the PK. It rolls all the way in. O'Brien, first man back. Sheds Richardson, plays it up the boards. Canucks try to hold it in. O'Brien, one more time. Wow.
Shane O'Brien doing all the work by himself in the corner 3 times. He took the puck away from a Canuck.
Big collision, Bieksa and Ekblad on the dump in. Weber plays it around the boards. Panthers need one more clear. And there it is. David Bolland's double minor is over. And he checks Weber right out of the box. And you cannot get better penalty killing. 40 seconds, short by 2 men. And then over 3 minutes of 5-on-4. And the Panthers really gave the Canucks one good scoring chance the entire time. The Burrows shot, that was it. Dorsett now drops for Bonino. His shot right on. Glove save by Luongo, and then Dorsett runs him. And Roberto starts throwing at Dorsett. Oh, Luongo's feisty. And everybody jumps in. Huberdeau and Dorsett.
Look at Huberdeau. Man, oh man, I'll tell you what. This is what the Florida Panthers do as a team game. They are now a pack. And that has got to be addressed by the officials there is no reason why Dorset would continue through and make contact with the goaltender. Hats off to Huberdeau, came in and did the job.
Down the stretch we come. Luongo back in Vancouver. And things are getting nasty. The Panthers are up by 2. The Panthers leading 3-1. Daniel Sedin scored 3:39 into the game. The response from the Panthers has been phenomenal. Huberdeau with 3 points. Luongo and the penalty killing has been great. And now, Denny, the Panthers are going to get a power play.
Well, it really was not a very smart play by Dorset. There you can see he was riding Mitchell into the goaltender well after the play. So the correct call was made. The officials made that goaltender interference. And then the ensuing battle between Huberdeau, who slams him down, and Dorset both get roughing for that. So the extra penalty will go to Vancouver. Now you have Vrbata in the penalty box, who will come out at the end of 2 minutes.
Got an important question for you. It's not really a fight, but does Huberdeau get the Gordie Howe hat trick? I don't know. Couple of goals, Billy, an assist, and kind of a fight, I think.
Well, there's no 5-minute attached to it, but I'll give it to him anyway.
And you've seen that pack mentality from the Panthers. Team toughness, sticking up for each other. You've seen it all night long. And it's boiled down. It's just one team outworking the other team. Panthers have put the nose to the grindstone.
And you like to see guys like Huberdeau jumping in there. We saw Jokinen jump in.
Well, if there's no response by the Panthers, it's an edge to the Vancouver Canucks that Dorset gets a hit on the goaltender and there's no retaliation.
And I correct myself, Jonathan Huberdeau, career high 4 points. Thanks to Kenny Lee down in the truck for pointing that out. 4 points, February of 13 against Philadelphia. So the 3-point night here for Huberdeau. 1 off his career high. The 2 goals in the game do tie a career high. Luongo had the stick knocked out of his hand. He'll go retreated in behind the play. Canucks thinking offense, shorthanded. They've got to, and Tanev carries. Bonino gets checked. Puck in the Panthers' zone here. Campbell try to get free, and he gets into Jokinen. Boys breaking in. Ekblad the trailer, but Boys couldn't control cleanly.
Looks like there's a little stickiness on the ice right now near the end of the game. 2:15 left. A lot of snow.
Keep an eye on Ryan Miller. See if Canucks decide to pull him here. Henrik Sedin in front, has a man. It's Bieksa, and it's deflected away. Mathias didn't shoot that puck. And Miller's now headed off, empty net. It's Bukestad. Miller trying to get back. Hayes moving in. Miller getting back in the goal. Hayes put it in front, cut off by Bieksa.
Boy, I don't know if the boys on the bench were yelling, but Hayes did not know that Miller had gone to the bench or didn't recognize it right away.
Here he goes again, Denny, as the Panthers' power play winds down. So now it's 5-on-5. Net is empty. Tipped by Bergenheim, but it's wide. Power play winding down for the Panthers. And now the Canucks will have the extra skater. It's Edler shooting in. Vrbata out of the box. Minute 15 left. 6-on-5 for the Canucks. With a net empty. Scotty Upshall. He's got the only Panther empty netter this year. Upshall is out. The give to Bergenheim. The shot. Off the post. Tanev got a piece of it, and then it went off the iron. Less than a minute to go. Panthers Live post-game coming up. All the highlights and analysis wrap up with this one. We'll hear from the locker room. It's Upshall again, getting it out. Then he gets interfered with. They let that one go. 40 left. Weber on the move. And Luongo again. And the Lou chance to those still left. Backhanded all the way down. It's going wide, though. No icing as that clock continues to roll. Richardson, stolen by McKenzie. Looking for the loose change off the outside of the net. McKenzie continues to work. He and Kopetsky deserve to get on the score sheet with the effort they put in tonight. Henrik Sedin, checked by Kopetsky. And it's Jokinen with 3. McKenzie to the empty net, no, but it won't matter. Roberto Luongo back in Vancouver. Stonewalls him with 32 saves and a 3-1 Panther win.
Very rarely have you seen the Vancouver fans wearing Vancouver jerseys actually standing up and clapping. And they're doing that in respect for Roberto Luongo. The game he has played, Roberto Luongo has had 29 saves in this hockey game in a 3-1 victory, has come back to a place where he has starred many times, many accomplishments, 2 consecutive President's Trophies, the Olympics in 2010, and boy, the Florida Panthers are happy and happier for Roberto Luongo. A fine performance by this team who has been in the city. And they're taking a salute. Look at this. How cool is this? That's in the opposition's building. Roberto Luongo has made his mark in 2 major cities, and these 2 cities are the furthest apart in the National Hockey League, Fort Lauderdale and Vancouver.
Tonight's 3 stars selected by John Shorthouse and John Parrott of Rogers Sportsnet. Tonight's 3rd star for New Vancouver Canucks, number 3, Ryan Miller.
Ryan Miller, the 3rd star tonight for Vancouver. I'm not sure how, but
he got taken to the bar there by Huberdeau.
Well, Huberdeau, the 2nd star, and you know who number 1 is.
Yes, sir.
Back in Vancouver. Here we go.
Number 1, Roberto Luongo.
The frustration that may have been in this man's head some 1 year ago. It was March 4th, 2014, when Dale Talon finally made the trade that brought Roberto Luongo home where he belongs. But leaving, as you can see, much appreciated. His 8 years in Vancouver, they're all still here standing and applauding. That is quite a tribute.
Every once in a while, you get a moment in sports where the storyline follows through and writes the script. And we certainly had that tonight with Roberto Luongo back in Vancouver. Panthers Live postgame coming up. Yes, it was a big night for our man, Jonathan Huberdeau. We'll take you through that, all the stats, analysis. We'll hear from the locker room here in Vancouver, where the Panthers get a big road win tonight. The number 1 star, Roberto Luongo. The Cats beat the Canucks 3-1. They go to 2-1 on their 6-game road trip. All the highlights are just ahead. Panthers Live postgame comes your way on Fox Sports Florida.